blade is like serrated kind of. There's really only one way to sharpen it, and that's with this Corona, like more for clippers to sharpen them, but this is what I use. It seems to work the best. I haven't sharpened this in a while. And especially when cutting collard greens, sometimes you run the blade into the dirt or the stones, and then obviously that dulls it.
That was a nice one.
These are getting real big now.
Wow. Give me another big one. He wants to see the pattern before he pays 250. Although we might not have all that for you. Come on. Have 3 5s. Do you have 5 class yet? You don't. Okay, then you have to go with like 4 2.5. What about bring class? I have 3 class. Okay, good.
Ready? Another one.
You're too far away from the camera. Logan thinks he's a ninja. Oh!
Play around to get caught.
Oh my goodness! You okay?
I just sharpened it too.
Are you okay? Let me see. Oh, it's bleeding again.
No, I need a Band-Aid.
Oh man. Well, you're not a ninja today. Yeah, keep doing it. You cannot. Wow, that's enormous.
Whoa. Lots of mud. That's what cauliflower likes.
We got the cauliflower for market. which is just like we always do, trimmed and in green trays so we don't bruise the heads. But now we're getting 2 more bins for an order, and we won't cut these. We'll just leave the tops long on them.
Wow, look at that.
So we just finished up. This is for the farm. These 2 are for the order. This is the biggest order yet this season. And then this one is all for, or these stacks, I guess I should say, are all for market.
You see him stuck right there?
Sammy got a splinter.
Oh. He's
And my
really
thumb's
deep.
cut. But don't worry, it's protected.
Yeah, mine's not.
Very safe.
Now I'm gonna have to dig that out.
Now we're moving on to kale. These bushes right here look really nice. We're keeping pretty far ahead on this, so there's not much to cut. But when they look like this, where you can get maybe 2-3 bunches off of one, that's doing pretty good. Kale is very simple. We'll do like, depending on the leaf size, we'll do like 5, 6 in a bunch. Sometimes if they're smaller, we'll get 7, 8. And then just throw a rubber band around it and call it a day. So Dad's going up the hill right now, him and Mom. Mom just stayed on there for security to make sure nothing slides off the back, because
Right there.
that's one of the steepest hills on the farm. It looks like Mom's struggling. So to finish off this order, we're getting 20 baskets or 10 bushels of bell pepper. On this side, which we haven't picked much this season, Sammy's getting more red than green, but they're beautiful, nice and blocky. On my side, I'm getting probably a little more green. You can see, well, actually these two are Sammy's, but this is mine over here. It's very windy. And then Dad's got his on the ground here. The plants are pretty loaded. On most plants, you can get 2 to 3, sometimes 4, even 5 peppers off one. Broke that plant a little bit. So there you go. There's 5. Maybe this one's even good. It is. So 6 off that one. This guy's huge. Finishing up the last one. There's 3, 6, 9, 10. And then 9 here. Sammy, that's a little fast. Slow it down a little bit. They're really muddy. Just from all the rain. All right, so the load is packed. Dad's just about to head out. I got a big net here, that way the cauliflower doesn't fly out going down the interstate. So it is Monday, October 20th. Dad just left for the Scranton Farmers Market. I just got done eating breakfast. It's pretty nasty outside, windy, rainy. Not something you really want to be out in. Luckily, I've got my rain gear on, but I'm gonna try and start out here in the high tunnel picking tomatoes. The dogs insisted on coming out, so here they are. The rain's supposed to stop here in about an hour or so, and then it should be nice for the rest of the day, but it is gonna stay pretty windy, which that'll at least dry everything out though, because everything right now is just like mud. Where did Daisy go? If I can get 6 boxes, that'll be enough, at least for Wednesday market. I can't take the Kubota because the boxes will get all wet, so I'm gonna take my Paps truck, which at least has the cap on it. So down here in the lower high tunnel, Mom and I have cleaned these about half. We're trying to leave the bigger green tomatoes on, that way they can ripen hopefully. We cleaned about these 2.5 rows. I just gotta finish up this over here. You can see there's some nice red ones. We have tons and tons of cherry tomatoes and grape tomatoes. The cherry is a super sweet 100 and the grape is a Juliet. So I'm gonna try and get some of those hopefully. I'm actually gonna come down this edge first because last time I did not get this cleaned. I don't care, like I said, as long as they're not bad. That would be the only reason I don't put them in the box. But even this guy, I don't have no problems with. That guy's no good. The plan was, the last time we put this plastic on this high tunnel, was to keep it for like another 4 years, which is like the lifespan of plastic, and then basically take this thing down. Just because it's been here for years, and the structure just isn't real good no more. It's built out of mostly wood, some metal, as far as like, you know, the I don't know if you call them purlins or what they are going around the top, the hoops. And so I don't know if Dad still wants to do that or how we're gonna do that or what we're gonna do, but the tomatoes are still doing good. Sometimes the reason for ending a high tunnel is the ground is just depleted out of nutrients. You get disease buildup after planting tomatoes year after year after year. But honestly, there is sections in here that is diseased. Like every single year those tomatoes go bad. But this year, for the most part, I would say they did really well. So I don't really know what's gonna happen. I do know that I really enjoy doing high tunnels though. That is one thing for sure. Better than in the fields. Look at this tomato. October 20th. I mean, that's a little bit orange yet, but nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Obviously they're staked up, they're off the ground. You can control their water. The bad weather can't get to them unless, you know, a bad storm knocks the whole thing down. So I cleaned just about every orange, red, big, small tomato I could find. There might be something here and there, but like I said, if I left it on, it's probably not any good. Or maybe I did miss one, but I don't think I missed too many anyway. And so now all of these beautiful green tomatoes, which I'm gonna pick a box of these as well, are gonna hopefully grow a little more. I mean, we don't have good growing temperatures, but at least these aren't gonna get hit by frost. It's not gonna get that cold to where it's gonna come in here yet and kill them. We do have a heater right there, but we most likely won't run that unless something comes up on us unexpectedly. And so we're just gonna let these go probably for another week or so, and then we'll do the whole clean out thing, then pull all the tomato plants out, cut the strings, pull the stakes, all that kind of stuff. All right, so it's still windy. Rain seems to be slowing down a little bit. The sky's starting to brighten. But now I gotta go in here to the upper high tunnel and grab some more tomatoes now that the lower high tunnel has ran out. Now this one is bigger, basically in every way. It's wider, it's longer. You can see instead of 4 rows, we have 6 rows, and these are probably like twice as long. And so in here, there is quite a few tomatoes, but I would say there's actually more bad tomatoes though. Just on the ground here, I can see 5, 6 but that one's no good. You can see like the black rotting. That one's no good. This one looks pretty nice, so does that one. I can see quite a few red and orange guys in there that I'm gonna pick off. There's another beauty. To be honest, when we're picking tomatoes, unless we're getting them for ourselves or for somebody who's gonna be canning them in the next day or so, we don't like them blood red because they're gonna get too soft, they're gonna maybe damage in the box, and they're just not gonna last very long. And so if we can pick like a, not really pink, but more like an orange to red tomato, that's ideal. Then we can keep it in storage if we need to for 4 or 5 days until that basket or that box or whatever it may be gets sold. Here's the 3. You can see how I got quite a few small ones on top there, but I'm just cleaning house at this point. I try and put the bigger ones underneath so I don't squish these small ones. See, like that? That's not gonna last forever, but this isn't really that bad. That's like some sort of like scabbing or whatever. This is actually like a rotting spot, but it's not too bad. I think we can sell that for a number 2 at market. So I am gonna put that in. All right, so tomatoes are done. Some really nice ones out of the upper high tunnel. That one's got some smaller ones. It's still raining. I was hoping it was gonna be done by now. I don't really wanna take the Kubota out and get everything all wet. In the cooler here over the weekend, the guys got a bunch picked, so we don't have to do much as far as like peppers, Cubanelles, Italianelle, green bell, red bell. Over here we have yellow bell and orange bell. We got 2 or 3 crates of eggplant. We got green beans, cherry peppers, lots of long hots. In the bin here, we have the hot pepper bushes. And so we're pretty set up, especially because today is probably not gonna be the best day at Scranton with it being rainy. You know, we're not open at the farm market because we're never open on Mondays. And so it's not gonna be a real hard, crazy, or long day. Maybe tonight I can actually get out and do some hunting. Today's Brussels sprouts were actually some of the nicest I've gotten yet this season. I think the variety name of those was Franklin, but I'm not 100% positive on that. And so I got them down here in the back of the Kubota. But what I'm also doing down here is grabbing some onions. Right here's the Brussels sprouts. They're really nice and even. And there's not many bad ones at the bottom whatsoever. What do you see in there, Lil? Let's back your days. We got 1 basket of the sweet Spanish onion left. And now the rest of these here are candy, which are a little bit smaller, but they're a really nice onion, very similar to the sweet Spanish. We're just about done with the whites, a couple reds. Garlic is now finally done as far as cutting the tops off. I think I say this every time, but all this was garlic. All these tables down here were garlic. And then these 2 baskets that are cut up or cut off still need to be like cleaned yet. That's what the guys do with this brush. Sometimes we would just do it with bare hands and get that outside dirty layer off. Right here's a bunch of tops that haven't been thrown away yet. And you can see how dried up they are. All these baskets here are now for planting besides this guy, which I guess I'll put this actually over here. These 3 need to be gone through. These 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 are already picked out. Nice, big, beautiful bulbs for planting. And so I'll go through those and do the same. We are gonna try and have 12 baskets. We'll break those toes apart and you'll see the whole planting process here in the next probably 2 weeks, something like that. We're just trying to get the potatoes out of the ground. And then whatever we don't want for planting goes into another basket, which just might be a little bit smaller or not quite as nice. You can see how that one's like kind of starting to split there. Regardless, absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just like I always say, we're trying to get the best genes for next year's garlic. And hopefully eventually we'll just have all perfect. But a lot of what I say isn't perfect is because we could have left it in the ground too long, because it could have been damaged by the digger. It could be any of that. Not really so much like the garlic was just like not nice as far as putting in an ugly toe from a previous bulb the year before. So then once I get the onions back here to the shed, we try and do like a quick shuck, just get that outside loose layer off, and then throw it into the washer. These probably don't even need to be washed after they're shucked because you can see how clean they are. I mean, there's still a little bit of dirt and debris on there, but not much. because I'm here by myself, I'm doing the job of not only putting them through, but also putting them into the basket. Onions is one thing that you can basically do yourself because it's kind of a slower process. Then here is the compressor for the cooler, which blows out quite a bit of hot air. So we'll just set them there and that helps dry them off. So right here, if you can see that, this is like a gummy outside layer, but I can tell it's only one layer deep. So I'm just gonna get my gloves a little bit gross and pick that layer off. And it was only, honestly, that spot right here, not even the entire onion all the way around. And pretty it up. You also don't want it in a basket with all the other good ones to rot them. And now you can see how really white that is now, but now it's a sellable onion.